I thought I wrote this novel that took 6 months of kind of dedicated, focused time. Now I'm just going to send out my letter, and who wouldn't beg to read this? And I had a personal connection to one particular agent, and this is the first one I queried. He wrote back right away asking for the manuscript. So I sent it and then wrote back, I think 13, maybe 20 max minutes later, and said that he wasn't going to offer representation. And I was totally shocked. I did some Googling to try to understand if there were resources for me to either A, improve the substance of my query itself, or B, improve my network, and get in touch with agents with the eye toward or the goal of trying to find resources that could help me accomplish one of those two tasks. Then I found you, Annalisa, and your services, your professional offering was able to tap into both of those needs. I could tell from the video that you cared about the writers. I know you're probably thinking like, how is that even possible? But I felt like that was like completely there. So that kind of like, I guess you call it lack of self-orientation or just like real, genuine, authentic caring was a big differentiator. And it felt like you really had devised a system which was a small percentage working with authors and then a large percentage networking with agents, which is exactly the kind of personal connection that I was lacking, not having been a veteran of the publishing industry. I had already spent a long time on my manuscript, and I had spent a long time with a professional freelance editor who's very pedigreed, who helped me take it from meh to pretty good. So because of that, I was filtering because so many of the offerings out there are help with creative writing. I came in and we started working right away, and the substance of the query changed dramatically from the first one that I sent to that agent I personally knew back in January to what I'm sending out now. That I started to believe after my world was shattered in January that agents don't reply to blind submissions or cold query submissions because they have enough of a pipeline from their clients or their network. A number of the letters that I've sent out have received same day responses now asking for full manuscripts. And gotten very positive feedback on the content of the query as well, which is great. And ultimately, knowing that some agents find my query very compelling makes me feel like it meets all of the objective marks of being a good query. This is a huge confidence boost for me personally because I was so certain that the manuscript was great and that any query I sent wouldn't do it justice. It was very reassuring for me, I think, to receive this affirmation that the query that I had sent was not only high quality, but in her words, probably the best query she'd ever received, because it made me feel like the hard work was worth it. In my mind, I was like, if I didn't have Annalisa, there wouldn't be another human being in the world who understands what this means. There would be other people I could send it to, like really successful authors I know who I've been networking with, who would say, yeah, like, of course you got a response. I got 10 responses. I went to Iowa workshop. I can't recommend it enough. I mean, it has an NPS score of 100 for me.